Sorry, I'm going to take some shots. Sorry.
When I see the slide, no, there's a bus, but last year. Yes, we went to one of them.
Please, be quiet. Don't alert you.
Check 1, 2.
Good afternoon, sir. Sharon Hines from Trinidad.
Excellent.
God
nice
bless.
to meet you.
Take care.
All right.
Good afternoon, everyone. Could I have your attention? We're about to get started. I just want to welcome everybody to this year's event. My name is Gregory Bryan. I am the Vice Chair of the Elaine Bryan Foundation. Just want to welcome our new folks and the folks who are here supporting us every year. Elaine will, kind of go through the list and thank everybody, but just a general welcome at this point. And I want to introduce our MC for the afternoon. We have a very packed program for you today, so we're going to try to keep it moving along fairly quickly. So just want to introduce our MC, Miss Nicole Carr from WSB-TV. She's a Regional Emmy Award-winning investigative reporter for WSB-TV Channel 2, the only news channel. And Nicole grew up in a military family, so she lived many places, including Alaska and Panama, before the age of 16. So I think they call it an army brat or something. She's a proud graduate of the Winston-Salem State University, where she earned a bachelor's degree in mass comm. She later went on to earn a Master's of Science in Broadcast Journalism from Syracuse University. Nicole also has some Caribbean roots. From Trinidad. Her maternal great-grandmother was from Trinidad. And even though journalism is Nicole's passion, what's most important to her is her role as wife and mother of two beautiful young ladies. Her husband, Tolly, and her two lovely daughters are here today with us. And we're happy to have you. She also enjoys a good half marathon, books, travel, work as an adjunct professor. I need to ask you more about that. I don't know where you're teaching, and volunteering to support military families. So at this point, let's give Nicole a warm Atlanta welcome that she deserves. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are we doing? Great, we're looking great. Thank you for having me this afternoon. You know, I met Gregory and Dr. Elaine this week when they came by WSB-TV, and we went over some of the program and wanted to connect, and we connected on a number of levels. We talked about Caribbean roots. My father is from Port Antonio, Jamaica, and my paternal great-grandfather, who I did not know, was a doctor at the Port Antonio Hospital, and I had a family member send over a plaque that's posted there, and he'd studied at Howard University. And so when I saw the lineup here, it was an opportunity. It made me kind of emotional because it's an opportunity to start talking about your roots, where you come from and knowing where you come from and how important that is. And I'm just so happy to join this wonderful couple. I don't know how we got connected. Just you all made the request with WSB, and I was the person for you this year, and you were for me. So thank you for having me here. So my job is to keep the program moving, so I should stop talking. I'm not going to get up here and talk for a long time, but I do want to thank my husband Tali and my little girls Kendall in London for coming out. We rushed over here from some theater classes in Midtown, and it's always a fun time. The ball is always rolling in the Carr household. So we are going to keep the program moving. We're going to start out with joining Miss Noelle Miller for the national anthem. If everyone would please stand as Miss Noelle makes her way.
What so proudly wheeled at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. Of today's program and the focus, which is Financial Freedom 2018. Dr. Elaine Bryan is, of course, the chair of the Elaine Bryan Foundation. She is an entrepreneur and former educator with a doctorate degree in educational leadership. She founded the Elaine Bryan Foundation to make significant civic and educational contributions to both the local and global communities. The foundation was established in 2010 as a platform for fulfilling Dr. Bryan's life purpose, which is to empower today's youth. The foundation proudly celebrates 8 years of working to improve the lives of students. Bryant has received the Atlanta Mayor Phoenix Award, the Judge Glenda Hatchett Mentorship Award for outstanding service in the field of education, and the Turner Broadcasting Educator Award and the Georgia School Counselor of the Year Award. Now, all of our honorees and the folks that you will hear from today are very accomplished, and you can read the rest of their bios in your program today, but you can read more about Dr. Bryan there, but let's welcome her to the stage for an overview today.
I'm just going to play a brief presentation about the program before we start.
Every summer, in addition to its year-long work with youngsters, the Elaine Bryan Foundation partners with major sponsors Microsoft to help children at home and abroad by supplying IT skills training and mentorship, as well as scholarships and career coaching.
If they are already in college, they learn how to cope and succeed in college. They learn entrepreneurship, how to set up a startup. There's a center in Atlanta called Atlanta Tech Village. We have experts from the Tech Village who come and help them to write applications and all that, and to do programming, and we also do career assessment and planning.
It's a great program to be able to meet people in the career path I was looking for and get easy to, and be able to make connections to help me be more successful in life. It helped me figure out what I want to do. It also helped me figure out things I need to do through college and what colleges I want to go to. And the speakers gave me an idea of what colleges was like, and especially guys from Georgia Tech and there was a girl from Morehouse Memphis. It was really interesting. The
program did a good job of exposing students to potential people who are actually involved in the actual field, whether it be law or medical, like the attorneys are actually responsible. A graduate know how to apply. So in that sense, I think really it's beneficial. And actually, it's more avenues than just attending regular schools.
We had a lawyer from Harvard come in, we had an environmentalist, and we also had many speakers from Georgia Tech.
The speakers were great. Georgia Tech speakers especially, how prepared they were with their PowerPoints and slideshows. It really helped me be inspired to go to Georgia Tech and come home.
I never knew how dedicated Microsoft was to education, and then I took this course, and it just really opened my mind to all these insightful things that Microsoft does to provide children like us, not just us, internationally around the world. It's really great with Microsoft.
At this time, we'll have Dr. Bryan come to the stage.
Thank you, Gregory. In the interest of time, I'm going to merge my two parts, which involve awarding the students as well as giving you a brief overview of the program. Before starting, I want to say to all of you, thank you for coming, and everybody's looking quite attractive in the audience. I applaud you for coming. Good afternoon and welcome to all. I would like to thank you for coming to the 8th year celebration of the Elaine Bryan Foundation. As most of you know, I retired early from education as a counselor and a math teacher. After receiving several awards here in Atlanta from the Judge Glenda Hatchett and the leadership in Atlanta, the mayor of Atlanta, etc., I started a foundation 8 years ago. The reason for the foundation is to provide enrichment and mentorship and growth for students globally through STEAM programs, science, technology, engineering, entrepreneurship, art, and mathematics. Thanks to my sister, Margie Grant Fuller, could you please rise? Norman Grant and all the relatives at MR Grant CPA table, could you please applaud them? My sister was very instrumental when I was 16 16 years old to apply to Northwestern University. I hated the cold weather, but I did as I was told and went to Chicago. It was one of the big door openers in my life because at Northwestern University, I met some of the leaders in this country who I still am connected to. Thanks to my family for that. Thanks to my husband, Gregory Bryan. Without him, we would not have a program today. He didn't sleep all night because I'm very nice. And so I like things done properly, and so it wasn't easy. And instead of having a big PR firm behind us, I decided to put all the profits to the students. When you do that, it's harder. Thanks to Microsoft Corporation, including their BAM group. Are the BAM group members here? Please rise. Okay, they're right here. Welcome to us today. The Microsoft Corporation has been a rock in the development of our STEAM programs that are held in the corporate office of Microsoft and the Buckhead Lennox store and anywhere where Microsoft office is. They are very open to us hosting programs, and I'm very grateful. I welcome our WSB-TV MC, Nicole Carr. Could you give her a big round of applause? You know, ladies and gentlemen, this is family day. Most people don't come out on a Sunday for anything, even if you give them $1 million. For her to be here with her family is more than I can say, but thank you so much. Dr. Wayne Frederick, could you please rise? Congressman Hank Johnson is on his way. Attorney Paula Kerr-Jarrett, please rise. Dr. Simone and Cecil Whitmore. Honorable Fitzgerald Hines and his son. Monica Rivera is up here with me. She's from Microsoft. Jamil and Noel, you'll hear from them more. Wasn't that a great anthem? Give her a big round of applause. Thank you so much. Will Bambi and Scrappy from Love and Hip Hop please rise? And family? Will you give them a big hand to come and merge with our STEAM program the way they did so willingly? We welcome and salute you. Ambassador Phillip-Browne, Golden Cross CEO Jackie Robinson, who has been a backbone for my family. Dr. Michael and Gayle Abrams from Jamaica. Gayle Abrams is the CEO of GIS, please rise. And Dr. Michael Abrams, please rise. Thank you. You're my house guest. Thank you so much. Zaron Pleasure, who makes the machine we run. Please rise. Sean Grant, my nephew, who is behind the scene operating all the time, and other special guests. Special welcome to Barbados Honorary Counsel David Cottins, please rise. Honorable Edward Lane, former Counsel to Barbados, please rise. He has been my mentor for years. Will all the dignitaries please stand so we can welcome you? Thank you. Other outstanding non-profit here today, Picture of Health Foundation, Dr. Donovan Christie, is he here? Please rise. He's just coming from Africa and from Transform. I think it's just remarkable what they do. It's just amazing, going all over the world to help the poor and needy in health. I think that's just so great. And that is why GIS, Power 106 will interview the group in a few minutes. Also, Clarendon College, Paul, is Dr. Paul here, please rise. Outstanding work, bringing the beauty queen, recently Miss Jamaica. St. Hugh's Girls School, outstanding work. Barbados, AJA, and Trinidad and Tobago Association leaders, could you please rise? Could I have Miss Joyce Johnson come to the podium, please? All table leaders, please rise. Without you, we will not have a solid, sold-out event today. Congratulations to the computer winners from University of the West Indies. They are not here today, but hopefully it's being live streamed. Mr. Dervan has about 3 million followers all over the world, and they are hearing the names now, especially at the University of the West Indies. They are watching him, and the winners they are all getting brand new computers Sharika Anderson, give her a hand please. Chambers, Alison Collin, Roman Nugent, and Joshua Swaby, who was our winner before. We gave away 6 computers to University of the West Indies first-year students. The local winners, could you please rise? Jessica Grimes, please come to the stage. Dennis Wagura, please come to the stage. Gerald Rackerson. Richard Angeliva II. And Xavier, please come to the stage. Also, the Mentors Awardee, Attorney Bernadine Lane and Don Pottinger, please come to the stage. Now, all these people on this stage have been very instrumental in making this machinery work. It is not easy to run an education program because there's nothing fancy about it, you know. It's not movie stars or award-winning, you know, Grammy and all that. So we tend to undermine it. But I am here to tell you I value education, and that is why these students are here today, and they're all getting full scholarships. We're going to start with the thing that they're getting from Microsoft, and you'll hear later from Ms. Rivera, who came all the way.
I was in New Orleans.
New Orleans? Yeah, she came from New Orleans just for this. You know, that's serious. That's putting the walk where the talk is. And I like walking, I don't like talking. So she came to represent Microsoft today. And also Mr. Jerome.
Monroe.
Yes, Mr. Monroe. He has been the one who made things happen every time we do workshop. I remember one day Dr. Windy Green came to speak to the students at Microsoft, and without these people we would not have an event. I also want Miss Russell, could you come please? Come here. Yes. I want you to know that I would not have Bambi here today had it not been for her. Her name is Elissa Russell. Will you give Elissa Russell a big hand? Yeah. I don't believe in pushing the middleman out. Miss Russell is the reason why I have Bambi here today and Scrappy. Could you please rise, all of you come to the podium? Without these people, I wouldn't have an art in my steam. So that's why they're here today, along with Dr. Simone and also Mr. Whitmore. Come to the stage. Now, Bernie Lane, could you please come? On behalf of the Elaine Bryan Foundation, we are presenting Ms. Attorney Bernadine Lane this award today for outstanding leadership and mentorship in our program of 8 years. Bernie has been helping everybody in Georgia. Could you give her a hand, please? Attorney Lane is an immigration attorney, and she never says no. I've never met anyone who helps everybody who needs help. This is Bernie. And those people are sometimes never thanked. And that is why we have the Elaine Bryan Foundation. Now you're listening, because we have to thank these people for what they do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now is Don Pottinger here? Don Pottinger? Oh. Dr. Pottinger, will you please come to the podium? Dr. Pottinger. Oh, she's busy. Okay. Yeah, we keep each other busy. Okay. Dr. Pottinger, please come to the... Now, ladies and gentlemen, I merged the award section of my program and did it early because to me it's the most important part of our program. Because you see, we really have to honor the people who make this happen. Without these people, this could not happen. We could not have a program. And Dr. Pottinger and her son, they have been like 25 years trying to help everybody. Don started when he was a baby, and of course his mom taking him everywhere to help the community. And I just wanted to thank them so much for all they have done to help our programs for so many years. And because of that, today, Don Pottinger receives the Outstanding Leadership and Mentorship Award from the Elaine Bryan Foundation. There's one of my students in the audience, Maria Lucas. Could she please come to the podium? Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bryan. I just want to take a moment to really shine a light on the students here, because that's why I volunteer my time to come and talk to the students about engineering, talk to them about entrepreneurship, talk to them about the hardship that awaits them in the real world. And a lot of them have aspirations to do great things, and the best thing we can do is encourage them and show them that it's possible. So that's one of the big reasons I love Dr. Bryan and her programs. I'm able to give back and spend a lot of time with the children, the students, the young adults, and talk about my path. I had a very similar path, Dr. Bryan, when I started. I was just another teenager in DeKalb County schools. I had aspirations, but I didn't really know how to get there. And Dr. Bryan, with her connections, was able to introduce me to the director of Georgia Tech's attendance program, and I was able to build a relationship. So it wasn't just about grades, but it was about building connections and relationships. And I was able to matriculate, graduate through Georgia Tech with a degree in computer engineering, and I've since started my own business, in part because of Dr. Bryan and the way she has inspired me to go for the things that may seem hard, but with hard work and perseverance, you're able to do that. And then now I'm able to give back to the community and mentor other people of color like myself, other women, other people that are aspiring to do things that they don't see other people that look like us doing. And so I'm very grateful to Dr. Bryan for that.
Will continue. I just want to thank you all for coming, and I don't want to take up the whole program because I'm not the keynote speaker, is Dr. Wade Frederick. So my part is over. Thank you.
Thank you. So at this point, I'll turn it back over to our MC, and we will continue with our program.
Let's give those young people another round of applause. Those are stories we need to hear. So in the interest of time, we're going to switch the program up a bit, and you're going to hear next from attorney and philanthropist Paula Kerr-Jarrett, who is the director of the Barnett Group Companies. And I'll just read this one part from your bio. I know since 1990, as a resident and tourism capital of Montego Bay, attorney at law Kerr-Jarrett has worked to highlight and market the tremendous assets Jamaica has to offer. You all please welcome her to the stage now.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. It's so incredible to be here. And I just, I'm going to be 5 minutes, but I want to say that Elaine, you are just an incredible person. I mean, every time I wrote 2 pages of notes, and then I cut it back, and then the more I thought about it, and the more I read about her, and the more I heard her today, I just say that I want to spend my 2 minutes just bigging Elaine up, because she always promotes everybody else. She is such a promoter, but you never hear Elaine reflecting it on herself. She's always pushing it back on everyone else. And I just want to applaud you, because I think you are an inspiration to all of us. And I was thinking about the word inspiration, and I thought, what comes to mind when we think of it? about inspiration. For me, it's excitement, renewed energy, and like a resurgence of hope. And this is my second year here, and every time I come, I get just that. It's delivered just the same way, but even better. This year, it's so organized, so efficient. Elaine, congratulations, really. And what a packed out room of wonderful people. And all the representation that we've gotten from the different islands is incredible, because I believe, and this is nothing to do with what I wrote to talk about, but anyway, I just believe that we need to be more unified in the Caribbean. We talk about it a lot, but we're not actually doing it. And I think that venues like this and opportunities like this are critical, and this might be about the young people, which is fantastic, because they inspire us every day. But also, Elaine, this could eventually be a forum to bring the region together. Because the young people, I think everybody agrees on one thing. We want our children to aspire and to do better than we do. And we can do that as a region. Because when we're in a country like America, well, I don't live here, but when you are, you really rely on each other. Because, as you said in your program, no man is an island. I tell you that what has been resounding in my spirit all morning is we need each other. And I just want to encourage everybody, you know, to just keep holding hands together as a region, not just as separate islands. Because no man is an island, no island is just an island. We are the Caribbean as one together, and we can do great things together. And I wanted to just say that, you know, what I try to do, and I believe what we all need to continue to do as we do every day in our lives, is open ourselves up to those moments of opportunity where maybe we were feeling tired or feeling overwhelmed by our day-to-day jobs and our responsibilities, where we feel fearful. Sometimes we want to go with things, but our gut instinct is saying do this, but we just don't know how we're going to start. Just get out there and somebody will be there to help you. It might not happen today, it might not happen tomorrow, but if you persevere like we've seen Elaine do, 8 years, and look what she's built. And Gregory, all the students that you've helped, it's incredible. And I'm inspired now to see what I can do for the program, because, you know, it's good, because really, and what that young man said from Georgia Tech a while ago, well, I don't know where he's sitting, but what a speaker you are, and you should continue to mentor and speak publicly, because I believe you've inspired me. And the fact that you can see what your responsibility is at your age, you have the world before you, you will achieve so many things. And I believe that all the young people here today, I want to say that don't stop believing in yourselves and believing in the good of your fellow man. Because I'm a believer that when we look for good, we get good. When we look for good, we get good. So always look for good in everything that you do. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Thank you, Elaine, for inviting me. It's an honor. Thank you.
All right. So one of the things we talked about the other day in terms of who was here and speaking at the program was finding folks that young people relate to. People, how many young people love their reality TV? Okay. I watch my Sunday evenings reserved for my reality TV. And so when I started hearing about Bambi and Scrappy and the Whitmores, we were talking about how it is important to see people who are doing things that these young people want to do and who they look up to, because they're able to access you in ways that weren't possible before. And so that's where that falls in. So we're going to introduce the Whitmores. We'll start with Dr. Simone's bio. You can see in here, she was born and raised in Nashville, Tennessee, graduated from Spelman College with a degree in biology and pre-med, and earned her doctorate from East Tennessee State University, Quillen College of Medicine. Dr. Simone completed her residency at Boston Medical Center in 1997 and became a board-certified OBGYN in '99. and she's been a sought-after speaker on women's health issues and has owned North Perimeter OBGYN since 2004 as a solo practitioner. She and Mr. Cecil Whitmore have 2 sons, Miles 19 and Michael 15. They love to travel, and who you're actually going to hear from is Mr. Whitmore. You can come on, start making your way up to the stage while I introduce you. The Coca-Cola Company as a senior executive with 20 years experience in information technology. Cecil has been an IT manager in the areas of support, development, and operations for the International Paper and Coca-Cola Companies. Cecil graduated from Morehouse College with a Bachelor of Arts in Accounting. He's also a real estate agent with Solid Source Realty and owns several properties here in Atlanta. He's currently working on a startup application, Kids Force. And do you all watch Married with Medicine? All right, let's bring up this powerhouse couple, the Whitmores. Thank you for being here.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are super excited to be here for Dr. Elaine Bryan and Greg Bryan for this foundation. This is an amazing luncheon. Just looking around and seeing all of these beautiful people here, we are super excited that we got an opportunity to be a part of this. And for me to speak, so I don't know the folks who watch Married to Medicine, but if I get an opportunity to speak, that there's something different going on. So I want to thank Greg Bryan. That's probably how I got up here. We kind of touch on a number of the areas from the STEAM program: science, and my wife, technology as an IT professional for 20 years, and then we do have some arts because we are on this reality TV show that my wife got me on. I don't know how that happened. 6 years later, we're still on the show. It's been a blessing and sometimes a curse. But I think the thing that's important here is that for the people who don't watch the show is about it follows the lives of 7 African American women and with a little bit of reality drama. But I think the thing that's interesting about the show is that on this show, there are 8 African American doctors. Not actors, but 8 African American doctors and 1 Indian doctor. Everyone on the show is married. Everyone on the show has family and kids. And so even with all of the drama that we end up showing some weeks, we still get an opportunity to show that education is important. And we give kids an opportunity to see people that look like them doing things, and you don't have to come from one side of the fence. You don't have to go to this school or that school. The opportunities are out there for kids to dream big and succeed in whatever they decide to do. What I love about Dr. Bryant and this foundation is that when I was coming up as a student out of Los Angeles and when I went to Morehouse, I had made up in my mind I was going to be an accounting major. But in actuality, I wish I would have had someone like Dr. Bryant guiding me so that I saw some other opportunities, things that maybe would have pushed me in a different direction. I ended up, now I'm a technology guy. I don't know how I got there, but 20 years later, it's been a great career and a great run. I'm gonna pass the mic because I don't get to talk much, but I am gonna pass it over to my wife, Dr. Simone, and let her have a few words.
Dr. Elaine Bryan, her husband Greg, we want to thank you for having us here today. And I just want to echo what my husband said. Education is everything in America. If you can dream it, you can definitely achieve it. I'm a little girl out of Nashville, Tennessee. I grew up in a 2-bedroom apartment with a single mother and an alcoholic father. But when I tell you, I have realized my dreams. And all you have to do is dream it and want it. And there's so much knowledge at your fingertips. I hate when my patients go to Google for knowledge, but when I tell the young people, any question you have, anything you need is available just at your fingertips with technology. And so dream big, whether it's science, IT, engineering, or television. Dream big, go get it.
Thank you. We actually have a musical selection. Again, we have Noelle coming back to the stage, but this time she'll be joined by Jamaica.
How y'all doing? Man, y'all make some noise. Y'all okay? Y'all awake out here? I go by the name of J. Mill, and I'm going to be singing with Noelle today. We're going to sing the prayer. Anybody know the prayer? Okay, so if you know the song, that means you're going to sing along with us, right? Okay. Thank you to Dr. Bryant for having us.
From above.
us faith, so will we sing. Lead us to a place, yeah, and guide us with your grace. Give us faith, so that we will be saved.
I just heard, Mommy, I like that song. We just have a few more speakers before we share together in this meal for today. We're going to welcome back to the stage Mrs. Gayle Abrams, CEO of the American Chamber of Commerce of Jamaica. In her position, Ms. Abrams is responsible for the Chamber's new direction as it positions itself to promote trade and investment opportunities between Jamaica and the United States, the regions, and the world, really. Most importantly, Ms. Abrams provides Jamaican business people with a forum to advocate public policies and the opportunity to provide international linkages for the Chamber's members seeking to promote and to grow their businesses. So she's going to come and speak with us today. Welcome to the stage.
So, good afternoon, everyone. So, as we say in Jamaica, all protocols observed. There's so many dignitaries here this afternoon, and I'm so feeling inspired. I was supposed to be here last year, and so I had to be here this afternoon, and I'm representing the Jamaica Information Service and also the American Chamber of Commerce of Jamaica, which I'm the CEO. But it's my absolute pleasure to be here with you. I met Elaine and Gregory, 5 years ago? Or more than that? Yes, when I was working with Grace Kennedy. I think Grace Kennedy is a sponsor. And we had what you call First Global Vision Awards. So First Global is one of the subsidiaries of Grace Kennedy. And we have an event just in the morning where we invite professional women to come and talk to young girls in Kingston. We couldn't go across Jamaica because there are so many high schools. And we wanted someone who is also in the Jamaican diaspora, who could come and talk to girls who understand the Jamaican experience and also the challenges of being a woman. And so, you do the usual thing, you go to Google. So I went to Google and I found Elaine. And I contacted her, and she consented. And she came, she delivered, she impressed everybody in Jamaica. It was a big event, and the rest, you say, is history. We have been friends since then. So I had to be here to support her. And I didn't even know that I was supposed to bring greetings because I just wanted to be here to be with her. So, I'm going to just give you a little idea of what American Chamber of Commerce of Jamaica is, because I'm in the United States of America and we're big across the world, but nobody really knows what we do. And so JIS and the American Chamber of Commerce, so I'm wearing two hats. And we recognize the work of foundations, just like what Elaine Bryan Foundation. And we recognize outstanding Jamaicans and foundations. And the American Chamber of Commerce, each year, around October, November, we have what you call a grand gala and award ceremony, where we recognize foundations, individuals, who typify what you call unsung heroes. And I'm going to whisper to the audience today to let you know that a certain foundation was nominated to get an award at this event. And this foundation is the Elaine Bryan Foundation. Don't tell her. But we'll be sending her an official invitation to be with us in Jamaica in October, where you'll be with all these different foundations And we recognize not just Jamaicans living in Jamaica, but across the world. So Elaine, congrats. I know the time is limited, but I'm just going to say a little bit about AmCham. So I've been the CEO for AmCham for 2 years now, and we are one of 24 AmChams in the Caribbean, and one of 160 AmChams across the world. And we have done some wonderful things. We are also a member of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, and we have what you call leveraging our business connections, not just in the region. We have a membership of 197 companies, conglomerates. 40% are international companies, including U.S. companies. And what we do is make sure that we promote business connections. We connect Jamaican businesses, U.S. businesses, of course, businesses across the world to make sure that these businesses can grow. And that is something that we do. We also connected with AmCham Finland because I'm very excited about this program. I'm not jumping, but this program is called Launchpad USA, where they help to establish businesses in the United States, small and medium-sized businesses. And that to me is a great thing because, you know, sometimes they may not have that capital. And so we have those businesses in Europe that are in US, but we have the businesses here in Jamaica, and they're now part of that program. They get an office in Times Square. They want to have a virtual office, they can also get that, and legal and insurance services. And a lot of our members are using that opportunity to be in the United States. Another value proposition that we do have, previously we were affiliated with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. Now we're a member of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. So you find that our members will pay a membership fee to be members of 2 organizations. So when the Jamaican companies come to the United States, they do get the benefits of being in the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. And I believe that is also a wonderful value proposition for us. So I'm not going to stand here too long, but if you need to be connected, and a lot of businesses are here, if you need investments, if you need to connect with Jamaican businesses, we do what you call business matchmaking activities. And that is really good because in 2 days' time, I'll have 2 American companies that are connecting with 6 Jamaican companies. And that, for me, is really great because business is not just in the US, but in the region. We represent over 20,000 companies across the region. And so that's an opportunity for everyone here. So without further ado, I'll go and take my seat. But I'm sitting over there, so if you have any more questions, let me know. All right?
We are almost ready to bless the food and get on to lunch. Amen. We're going to hear from Jamil one more time as we see a slideshow on the program, and then we'll bring up our honoring for our invocation, and we'll.
This song is called Beautiful, y'all. For all of my beautiful people out here. It's a blessing to see people with their heads up to the for the same people. Life can be so real. Yeah. I'm amazed by all your strength, I am. And I'm grateful you come through. Yeah. So I take this time to stop a moment to show my gratitude to you. I put my lighter in the air for you. I see what you're doing, yeah, I see what you go through. Put my lighter in the air, the truth is you're beautiful. You're beautiful. Everybody singing together, sing a new song. Put your lighter in the air for love. It's beautiful. Listen. Many mighty ships are sinking, yeah. Many stars are falling down, and I count it as a blessing that you hold me up now. Hey, come on, y'all. I can tell that you've been praying. My whole life is turned around, yeah. And I can't go without saying that I thank God for you all now. Let me hear y'all say this. Hey, I put my lighter in the air for you. I see what you're doing, yeah, I see what you go through. You're beautiful, you're beautiful, yeah. Sing a new song, put your lighter in the air for love. Let me hear y'all say this. Here we go. Say aye, 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 aye. Let me hear you say aye, 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 aye. Let me hear you say aye, 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 aye. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I put my lighter in the air for you. I see what you're doing, yeah, I see what you go through. You're beautiful, you're beautiful. Put your lighter in the air for us. Everybody singing together, sing a new song. Put your lighter in the air for love. It's beautiful. So let me hear you say, aye, 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 aye. Can't hear y'all. Say aye, 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 aye. I put my lighter in the air for you. I see what you're doing, yeah, I see what you go through. Put my lighter in the air, the truth is you're beautiful, beautiful. Thank y'all.
Thank you, J. Mill. Now, Minister Jackie Robinson is here with me, and how many have eaten at Golden Crust? Part owner of Golden Crust, and it is everywhere. And I want to tell you, my grandfather passed last month in Maryland, but Golden Crust was how we fed everybody. And you know, that was coming into town everywhere, from Detroit, from Jamaica, from everywhere. So, thank you.
Thank you very much. I know we've been seated for a while, and I guess some of us are hungry. Most of us miss our church this morning, but I guess we're getting a little piece of church right now. So may you be kind enough just to stand with me, please, as we look to God and bless this food. God, our Creator, Christ Jesus, our Redeemer, Holy Spirit, our Sustainer. To your name be glory, praise, and honor. God, we want to thank you for today, a day in which you have blessed us all, so we can be here at this dinner celebrating with all the young men and the young women on this great day. Thank you, God, for your many blessings. We acknowledge you, God, as a God that loves knowledge, peace, and understanding. And as your young people swear to aspire to a different level, we want to thank you for allowing them to be here. We want to thank you for the many gifts that you have given to them. Thank you, God, for the people in this room who have come out to support them and to enable them to get to higher heights and deeper depths. God, we pray that you'll continue to breathe on us right now in this space that you have placed us in. And God, as we're about to eat this food, we pray that you will bless it. Bless the fellowship as we take bites and as we eat, that we will fellowship one with another. And this will turn into an everlasting fellowship. Bless us now. Bless the hands that prepare the food. And as we're about to partake of it, we pray your blessings on it. Right now, in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, everybody. So just a couple logistical things here. We're going to ask that the first row go first to the buffet line. And then we like to be fair. So after that, we're going to ask the back row to go next, and then we'll work our way forward, okay? Sounds good? Jared to the podium, Jared.
It doesn't matter. They're not. Oh, they brought this?
Yeah, it was just sitting out there. So I didn't
Really?
leave it. Yeah.
Thank you.
When I came in. And I bought that keyboard and the surface that the slide shows you playing on. What do you want me to do with that?
Bring it in, Miss
I have
Stinson.
it. I bought it in. I didn't want to leave it out there.
I've been putting everything behind
Gotcha.
one of these screens.
Remember, Dr. P needs to get these on. Yes.
Seconds is kind of a while, but we'll figure it out. I think it's fine for now.
know, that's why I was rushing to come back for it. Sorry, I'm going to charge up. Hi, sorry.
Jamaica? Yeah, because I see you were down there doing that Centennial the other day. Yeah. Like, is he here or is he in Jamaica? Yeah.
Based in Jamaica, but travel across the diaspora to cover events like this. Yes, yes.
Yeah, because we're friends on Facebook.
Yes.
Friends, I see.
Understand. Remind me of the name again?
Garfield College.
Okay, I've seen the name of it.
We took pictures last year.
Yes.
And that was the spirit. One of the arts and for our location here. And take our own cultural artists, guys. Spend 30 seconds with me, 30 seconds.
You must send that one to me because I don't have that one. I just have with when you get a chance. Yeah. In fact, it was the same clip from this which I mean, based on the fact that I taped it, I had it on Facebook Live. Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah, man. Big love.
Amazing event that they have I should tell you that I'm standing out there because it's an entertainment and a place where I'm certainly going to and we're very happy with that because in a sense, to drive some of the excess water that we have on the community. So we want to encourage you to come on down, take the children. As we said, the place is buzzing with activity. You will never believe that rain has actually been falling in this place. Scores and scores of people, quite a number of people and be a part of this activity. And Jamaica should be the evergreen river. Yes, out in all her glory on a day like today, dressed for the occasion. And of course, looking forward to continue to work with these kinds of activities because this is how we grow the country, grow the economy. By participating in these kinds of activities, we have to be part for the people as well. Let's take a break. June 45.
All right. Yeah, much right. Cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
More roads a major concern? What about those drains in the region? Meaning, who's responsible for repairing my road and when will it be done? Join us this and every Tuesday morning at 8 during Morning Agenda as we travel all our roads with the National Works Agency and get answers to these and other concerns. You're welcome to visit our website at www.nwa.gov.jm. See the tender notices link for projects to be undertaken. 1-888-429-5692. That's 1-888-429-5692. Or follow them on Twitter at NWA_JA and Facebook at www.facebook.com/NWA Jamaica. The National Works Agency, developing safe, reliable, and quality roads. Enter the Power 106 Empower Her Mother's Day competition by submitting your letter showing how mom empowers you daily and what makes mom empower mom. Prizes include a mom makeover from Fontana Pharmacy, gift basket courtesy of Reggae Jamming, gift vouchers from Grab and Go Texaco, and conveyed new gift vouchers. Submission by the coordinator. 8 at 10 a.m. And the 3 most compelling and emotional stories declared winners. Winners will be contacted directly by email or phone number provided and revealed on air and on Power 106's social media platforms.
Action Week is Sunday, May 6th to Saturday, May 12th. As part of the week's activities, the Jamaica Teachers Association takes pleasure in extending an open invitation to you, their valued members, to attend the Campbell Education Symposium to be held at the Campbell Conference Center, Manchester, Monday, May 7th, starting 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Our membership will be available live. The story was hosted Dervan at 2 p.m. 5 a.m. this Monday, May 7th. Broadcast brought to you by the Jamaica Teachers Association. Both sides of the story from the Jamaica Teachers Association Symposium and the Kettler
Not here and you, the phone cable on your phone.
Monday, May 7th, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. right here on 106 FM.
Alright, hold on. I know you're hearing me now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You finished playing your commercial? Oh, that's perfect. That's not a problem. No problem. Go ahead. Oh, that's easy. I mean, Gayle. Can I take it above the table? So much out there, Mackenzie, as you rejoin us here at the Whitley, formerly known as, well, last year when we were here, it was known as the Ritz-Carlton in Buckhead, but 1 year later, and it's the Whitley. And this is the home of the Elaine Bryan Foundation annual Inspirational Luncheon. And we're trying to pull Dr. Elaine Bryan away from all the people she has to be meeting and greeting, and every time we think we have her in our sights, she disappears. So we have to make sure that we catch her this time. And where did she go? And so I think I spot her now. I think I'm going to go to, she looks as if she is trying to secure a meal for a member of her official invitation list. Here she is working the line right now. Might not be a good time to speak with her, so I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll go to her husband, Gregory Bryan, who is he's at the lecture now. Looks as if he's about to make an announcement. And therefore, I will locate the president of the Atlanta Jamaica Association, but there he is, he's eating. I see as well Connie Wicker. Right. Okay, let's have a word with Congressman Hank Johnson. Okay. Congressman Hank Johnson.
Right up here.
Let's have a quick word with him. Congressman Hank Johnson, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great today. I hope everyone else is doing well as well as I'm doing.
Yes. And can you tell our listeners and our viewers on Facebook Live why you support the Elaine Bryan Foundation?
Because Elaine Bryan is all about taking care of the kids and serving the community, making sure that everyone is uplifted, making sure that everyone has the resources and everything that they need in order to succeed, particularly our children.
Yes.
And that's what this is all about today.
I know.
Education.
Yeah, indeed. I know you're in the line. You're on the buffet line. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I hear it's election time again. It's midterm coming up.
Yes, it is. And today is a day before early voting. So tomorrow, Monday, early voting begins again. It started last week. It'll continue through the weekend and into next week. And then the day to vote is May 22nd. So all voters out there have a responsibility to make sure that we do everything we can to turn this country back to where it needs to be. And so we need to be voting on the national, state, and local levels to elect good people to represent us and set policies.
At this stage, do you think you have done enough for the people to say yes again to Hank Johnson?
Well, I want the people to say yes. I humbly ask for support from everyone out there who lives in Georgia's 4th Congressional District. I want to go back and continue to serve you once more.
Excellent. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, there you have it. Congressman Hank Johnson, one of the specially invited guests at this Dr. Elaine Bryan Foundation Inspirational Luncheon, which is a fundraiser. This is how she's able to hand out all the scholarships that she handed out earlier on this afternoon. And I say earlier on this afternoon, we're 1 hour ahead. It's coming up to 2 o'clock in the afternoon here in Buckhead in Georgia. And that means it's almost 1 o'clock in Jamaica. We're going to send you back to the studios of Power 106 FM, and then no doubt out there we'll have much more from Men Who Cook 2018. One o'clock. 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. everybody. Good afternoon. Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching. If you're just tuning in, we're coming to you live from the Elaine Bryan Foundation Inspirational Luncheon, which is happening here at the Whitley, and this is in Buckhead, Georgia. Thank you very much for watching. There we go. Hello, Barbara. How are you? I see you online. Who else is there? Michael Jackson, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to Susie Q. Hello as well to Angela Lansford. Thanks for watching. Monique Holness. Monique, good to see you. Good to see you, Monique. Thanks for watching. Let's see. Janice. Hi, Janice. T-Sat Satchwell. Hello to you. Dorel McKenzie, Naples, Florida. Good to see you. Merrick, welcome. Dr. Dunn in Skokie, Illinois. Maxine Osborne, nice having you again at the Elaine Bryan Foundation Inspirational Luncheon. Thank you, Maxine. Thank you. Shanae, how are you? Angela, Mariella, Richard, Barbara, hi Barbara, Judy, Leone, Tesha, Trisha, Valerie Rochester, hello. Someone was just admiring your hat, Valerie Rochester. Lady D. Denise Gomez, good to see you. Nadine, Ryan, Rona, Jennifer, Gaida, Lorna, Mahuli Chai, Sandra, Roshane, Edith, Leo Gilling, Paula, Sylvetta, Dr. Lakim Samaj, how are you? Ewan Gordon, Cliff Williams, Dallas Campbell, good to see you. Dr. Keon Page, Rosemary, Marissa, and Mark Millwood. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Oh well, Angela, you're being very kind. Please, please. It's just a regular shirt and tie and a regular jacket. Oh boy. Whatever. I hear you. Come on in. Thank you. Wanna go? Oh. Thank you.
Awesome job. Awesome job.
Thank you.
Stand next to it. Let me get you both.
Okay.
You and your audience together.
Okay, hold on.
They can see what it looks like.
Well, maybe I should turn the camera on you.
No, just like that. You play it very well. There you go. Oh, the flash was too much.
Okay.
There we go. 1, 2, 3.
Great, thank you. Good.
They all go to Dot, so she'll be able to give it to you.
Oh, great, thank you. All right. Okay, people, we're gonna flip the camera. See you in a bit. hear you, Barbara Johnson. That's very kind of you. Maudlin, good to see you again. Good to see you again. Carol, welcome, Carol. And there we go. Some music, this your reggae music, yeah, on the R&B. New town, oh what a new day. Looks like the program is going to resume now, so we're going to take you up to the lectern in a moment. About to resume. There we go. Thank you very much, Alfie Mackenzie, as you rejoin us at the Whitley in Buckhead in Atlanta, Georgia. Of course, it's the Elaine Bryan Foundation Inspirational Luncheon. Dr. Bryant is just about through with her meal, so now would be a good time to speak with her. She's seated right beside her with her husband. And I'll use the opportunity now. Are you just about finished with your meal, Dr. Bryant?
Yes, thank you.
So I'll use the opportunity before you get busy again.
Yes.
To have a word with you.
Yes.
Good afternoon to you. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, Mr. Malcolm. You really stayed busy. You're at Golden Cross yesterday from 6 a.m. and in Canada before and then in Hollywood before. How do you do this?
Well, I'm trying to keep up with you. Well, let's talk about you, because you've been at this for what, about 8 years?
Yes, I used to do it informally for many years, and then I started to do it formally for 8 years when it became a 501c3 not-for-profit organization. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And when you started out, what was the primary purpose, and to what extent have you stayed true to the primary purpose of the Elaine Bryan Foundation?
The primary purpose was to be inclusive of everyone. You know, in the school systems in America, it's very divided. And if you are not from an upper echelon and certain color, it's hard for the students to break barriers. I wanted to spend the little life that I have left, hopefully long life, to make a difference in that arena and bring a little bit more equality to the opportunities of every race.
Who are some of your partners, the people who perhaps have been with you from the start, those who have come on board since then, who you would like to pay tribute to at this time?
One of my partners that I want to speak highly of is Jamaica National Building Society. And that is why Jamaica National Bank is on the back of my magazine, because when I started and we only had like 150 guests, they were there for me. Mr. Jarrett, he was still the CEO, I think, of the Jamaica National. And I am proud to be a Jamaican, and I'm proud to serve, my country. And this is my little way of serving my country, because I have been pretty fortunate in America. America is a tough place. Jamaica is still a very easy place to live if you know what you're doing in Jamaica. Here, the barriers are real. And so, because of that, I like the vision of Jamaica National. I also have many partners, like Microsoft being the main one, and as you can see, the executives are here today, and they don't usually leave Seattle for any reason, but they are here with me. And I have had, over the years, the Atlanta airport has been very supportive. We have Golden Cross. The CEO was here last year, and Couple San Susi is one of our big supporters, and of course Paul 106. I proudly show you in the magazine, because the partnership is real, and your company like people, and that's what we like. This year we added the Marriott Hotel, and when you see the gate prize, you'll realize the Marriott Hotel is a gate prize. Couple San Souci trip to Jamaica is a gate prize. And also we have Microsoft Xbox and Microsoft Surface and Lowe's. Lowe's is a new partner, which is like a store in a chain in Georgia where they do a lot of building developments and all that. So that's a big partner. Jamaica Tourist Board, every time we do this, they support us. And Anwan Medical Center, which you could interview Donovan Christie, he's also one of our major partners. Westside Gastro, which is in the front over there, they have been very good. And this is our company, Global Education Consultants Group. And that's how we get to reach people globally. This year, Minuteman Press joined us, and also Channel 2 WSB-TV have offered to do much more for us than they have done in the past, which is a big breakthrough because we don't have any Caribbean person in that circle. It's hard to break through. And, you know, all I wanted to do was to cross over. I know it's easy for me to sit and just eat my nice food and listen to reggae music, but what crossing over to the other groups is a challenge. And God has helped me to be able to do it. And that's why at the table right now, Married to Medicine is over there. Simone is a #1 reality TV show. Like the gentleman said, there are 8 African-American doctors on the show. And no other show is like that. WSB-TV, the lady just told us that she has heritage in the Caribbean. That's a big deal. And of course, the Howard president, believe me, he's not easy to get to anywhere. And the fact that he came and stayed through the whole time, that's big. Congressman right here, Hank Johnson is our congressman in Georgia, and he's one of the most, he has the most senior post in the Congress, and he has longevity in it, and that speaks volumes. So he's here and he stayed through the program. That sort of thing is great, but more importantly, Gregory Bryant has not slept because he has been working non-stop all night to make this happen. And his premiere thing is starting next, and I don't want to be the one to hold up his dream.
Okay.
And so thank you, Mr. Malcolm. I appreciate all that you have done.
Thank you too, and later on, thank you.
Yes.
Later on, I'll speak with Mr. Bryan.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
take
you
care.
so much.
We need to take another break here on Power 106 FM, and then we come back with much more. Althea McKenzie is in Mandeville for Men Who Cook, a big fundraiser. Under wet conditions, but the show always goes on. And we look forward to hearing more from Althea after this break. "17 minutes past 1 o'clock in the afternoon in Mandeville, Manchester, Jamaica, which means it is 2:17 p.m. here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Elaine Bryan, Dr. Elaine Bryan. She's been doing a great job, guys. She's been working on this all year, and she's been amazing. It says on the schedule I was supposed to do a spoken word piece, but we're gonna skip right over that. I ain't feeling the best, so just cross that out real quick. But I do have the pleasure of introducing something that I think is pretty amazing. My name is Sean David Grant. I am the CEO of Trackstars. Our goal, we have a platform that's designed to help creatives with a God-given vision bring that vision to life. That's what I'm all about. And the person I'm about to introduce and show you what they've done is my awesome uncle, Gregory Bryant. I remember when he first, give it up for him, please. I remember when he first mentioned this to me. He said he was going to be working on a song. He's going to be remixing a song. And I saw the beginning of that vision when he first said it. And what most people do is they leave that vision there. They just say that and they're done. But I got to see him go through the whole process, from coming to the studio, working on it, finishing the process. And I just want to say I'm proud of you, man. You did a great job. So what I'm about to play now for you is a song that he's been working on for quite a while, and we're very excited to play it for you. This is the world premiere, okay? World premiere. So I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it. I wish I had some DJ sound effects or something for you. But here you go.
Thank you, Sean. There's a video component to this, it wasn't showing, so let me start it over. Sorry about that.
That was wonderful. Let's give Gregory another round of applause. So the historically black college and university, the HBCU experience, is one that's near and dear to our family's heart. My husband, myself, my mother, graduates of Winston-Salem State University in North Carolina. My father went to North Carolina A&T University, brother Fayetteville State University, great-grandfather Howard University, and the HBCU experience is now part of the family business. My husband runs HBCU Game Day. They cover black college sports across the country. And so I'm really proud and excited to introduce our next speaker here, Dr. Wayne A.I. Frederick, president of Howard University. Now, yes, you can, a round of applause. I won't go over your entire bio today, Dr. Frederick, but we'll start off the top with, after serving as provost and chief academic officer for more than a year, Dr. Frederick was selected as Howard University's interim president. That was in October of 2013. On July 21st, 2014, the Board of Trustees voted to appoint Dr. Frederick as Howard's 17th president after a unanimous recommendation by the university's Presidential Search Committee. As an undergraduate student, Dr. Frederick was admitted to Howard University's BS and MD dual degree program, so that allowed him to move through the program by the age of 22, being very accomplished there with his medical degree. Now, following his postdoctoral research and surgical oncology fellowships at the University of Texas, MD Anderson Cancer Center, Dr. Frederick began his academic career as Associate Director of the Cancer Center at the University of Connecticut. Upon his return to Howard University, his academic positions included Associate Dean in the College of Medicine, Division Chief in the Department of Surgery, Director of the Cancer Center, and Deputy Provost for Health Sciences. You can read much more about Dr. Frederick in your program here, but for now, please another warm welcome for the President of Howard University, Dr. Wayne A.I.
Good day. After listening to the music and seeing all the good food on there, I was thinking this is going to be tough to follow that. So I said, let me give you my apologies up front. It's really a pleasure to be here. As you heard, I'm Howard University's 17th president. Howard University has been around for 151 years. And Howard University was started in 1867. And one of the things that is a little known fact is that Howard University's charter was signed by the 17th president of the United States, Andrew Jackson, who was known to be a very, very open racist. I mention that because one of the things that I think we have to be aware of in life is that we have to interact and engage with people who we otherwise may not agree with. And had General Oliver Otis Howard not engaged that president to sign Howard's charter, Howard University would not have existed. There have been 10 white men who have led Howard University. I am the 7th black man to lead Howard University and the first non-American born black male to lead Howard University. I was born in Trinidad and Tobago. I was going to say some 21 years ago, but some of you may figure that. I may be cheating myself a little bit. But I mention that because the year that I was born in Trinidad and Tobago, the year before I was born, the government of Trinidad and Tobago started mandatory testing for sickle cell anemia. As a result, when I was born in 1971, I was actually tested for sickle cell anemia at birth. My mom was a nurse, and so that significantly affected and influenced the life that I lived. Howard, Trinidad and Tobago at that time and today still has a very, what I like to term a very generous public healthcare system, which I was a benefactor of growing up. But having sickle cell meant that my mom had to make significant sacrifices, one of which was we lived close to the hospital for the first 6 months of my life. And then subsequently, once we moved, because I was hospitalized on average 4 to 6 times a year because of my sickle cell, my mom also changed her working schedule fairly frequently to ensure that she could take care of me and participate in my care as well while she was working. So her influence has been extremely significant. I'm extremely close to my grandmother, who at the age of 3 informed me about my sickle cell, and as she tells the story, since obviously I don't have that recollection, I decided that I would become a physician to find a cure for sickle cell. It's important because for the young people in the room, I mention that because I think it's important for the young people in the room to recognize that one of the important things in life is to have a passion about something. I tell students who come to Howard University that Howard University is not a place to come to get a degree. It's a place to come and get an education. And that education only comes alive if you leave and you go out and change the world around you. If your education does not benefit the society, then it certainly is not going to benefit you ultimately. And that's one of the things that I think is absolutely critical for where we are, especially today in particular. I have 2 younger siblings, and as I said, I think my mom made a lot of sacrifices to get me here, but without Howard University, I wouldn't be here. Howard University is an extremely special place. I attended Howard University at the age of 16, did Howard's BSMD program, as you heard, and graduated at the age of 22. And I still say today, as I have visited hundreds of higher education institutions, not just in the US, but in the world, there's nowhere else that I could fulfill my story and my dream other than at Howard University. It's that special a place. No one at Howard University ever told me that I couldn't. No one at Howard University ever put obstacles in front of me to prevent me from doing the things that I wanted to do, despite the fact that I had sickle cell anemia. I'm the only surgeon in surgical oncologist in America that has sickle cell anemia. And the reason for that, again, is because of Howard University. When I decided I was going to do surgery, at that time, Howard University still had what we call a pyramid program. 16 of us started, and only 6 of us would finish. And that's because there was a no nutrition that was built into the system. Back then, there were no work hours. I was just talking to my colleague, Dr. Green, about our practice today. Now, I believe residents can't work more than 80 hours a week. I wish that was the case when I was a surgical resident. It was more like 188 hours a week, if you could fit that many hours into a week. But the point was that my physical condition was certainly an issue. And yes, I had been sick and stood in the operating room to operate on patients. And I had been sick and had to take call at night. Despite that, Howard University was supportive of me becoming a surgeon. I still practice surgery today because I think it's important to pass my gift on to others, both in terms of training and also in terms of taking care of patients. Being a university president is a thankless job. Being a surgeon is probably the most thankful job. So I get to live on both sides of the fence every single day. I operate on patients who, despite the diagnosis that I give them, still have a courage and a belief that is unlike any other. And I mention that because oftentimes we walk around and we think of the things and the obstacles that are within our present lives, and we don't have a full appreciation for the blessings that we have. And I see that in my cancer patients and their families all the time. I can't tell you how many times I've come out to the operating room with bad news, hesitant to tell people about what is about to take place. And despite that, had patients turn around and embrace me and hug me and thank me for every single thing that I've done. I give you one major example. I operated on a woman whose family was part of a family that had Howard University had taken care of for decades. That family is well known. We've published literature on them because they have a genetic disorder that gives them a propensity for colon cancer. They develop polyps in their colon. They also can develop polyps in the higher part, in the upper part of their intestine, which can cause cancer as well. They have to get a major operation. One of them did, and I had to do that operation on her. For 2 days, she did very well, and on the 3rd day, took a turn for the worse and died unexpectedly on the 4th day. The first major surgical mortality that I had. The first 2 patients I operated on for pancreatic cancer, one of them is still alive today, some 14 years later. The second patient lived for 8 years. And so this particular death was particularly difficult for me to swallow. I remember going home that day, sitting on my couch, and my son coming in the room and asking me what I was so down about. And I told him that I had a patient who died. Looking away from him so that he wouldn't see my tears. And he came back into the room, put his hand on my shoulder, and said, "You'll be okay." He was 4 years old at the time. Left the room. That same family, she had a nephew who developed the same condition. And he came to me with his mom, her sister, for the same condition, and insisted that I operated on him. And I said to him, "I'm very uncomfortable doing this. I can't explain why your hand died, and I think you should get a second opinion." And they insisted. They said, "Absolutely not. We're going to stay right here. You're the right person to do this operation." He was up all night the night before, did his operation, went well, he recovered well. And I mention that story because those are the types of kind things that people who are in need, when you often think that you're the one granting help, actually help you. Those are the people who reach back to you. There are many young people in this room. There are many young people in this room who we certainly want to mentor and provide assistance to. And I think as adults, we often overlook that a lot of times these young people give us a lot as well. Mentoring is a two-way street. My mentor came to Howard University in 1948, some 70 years ago, as an 18-year-old graduate from Florida A&M. And he still is at Howard. And I think of my interaction with him every day. I think of how much he gets from my coming in that room and talking to him about what I'm doing today and where I am. On the same note, there are people who don't look like us, who don't share the same things that we believe. And one of the things that I would love to see our country do a better job of is to make sure that we have a better discourse. The discourse in our country right now is not what it should be. We speak in echo chambers. We're speaking to people who think like us. I see it in my beloved country of Trinidad and Tobago, where we have two parties that have different points of view. But the reality is, to solve our problems, no one person has a monopoly of all good ideas. But we've got to recognize that. We have someone in the White House who thinks very differently from a lot of us in the country. There's no doubt about that. But we still must not get cynical enough that we ignore the fact that open discourse is still the key to solving our problems. And we've got to force ourselves into that position. My son, who at the age of 6 years old, he knew only one president, a president who looked like him. Just think about that. The president in the White House right now is a president who does not look like him, who to him is an anomaly. As far as he's concerned, the president should have brown skin and have curly hair like this. And this president has blonde hair and has white skin, and for him, that's unusual. How did this man get to the White House? But more importantly, when President Obama was in the White House, a very interesting thing happened. I was watching CNN one day, and my son was looking at CNN, and CNN was running a story about the economy, and they were blaming President Obama for the economy. And my son turned to me and asked me, why did President Obama mess up the economy? I said, 30 minutes, I went on and on about President Obama's predecessor and explained to my son everything that George Bush could have done to make the economy better. When I was done, my son just casually turned back to the television and then turned back to me and said, I don't know who George Bush is, but I know that this guy is the president and he shouldn't mess up the economy. So my point being that although my son only knew one person to be the president, somebody who looked like him, he did not give President Obama a pass. And so when he finally did meet President Obama at Howard's commencement in 2016, as much as it was a watershed moment for my family, he still regarded him as the president of the United States, regardless of the color of his skin, and had expectations for him in terms of how he carried himself, his comportment, and how he engaged in the exchange and the discourse of ideas. And to this day, he still believes that same thing. And it's the same thing with my daughter. During the campaign, when we were talking about Muslims, my daughter insisted on bringing a Muslim friend to our holiday party, which for the most part is a Christian party. And I said to her, this could be a little bit uncomfortable. You're going to bring your Muslim friend to a holiday party, and for the most part, it's a Christian holiday celebration. She insisted on bringing her because she did not like the tone and tenor of the discourse among Muslims at the time. And so her friend came that night. Before her friend got there, she pulled me aside and said, oh, by the way, I invited her entire family. She invited her mother, father, her brother, her other sister. I said, I wish you had told us this. I know we are expecting a lot of people, but still you could at least tell your parents how many people you're inviting. As I get ready to walk away, she pulled me aside again and said, by the way, the son, her brother, has a little thing on his lip that he was born with, so don't stare at him. This young lady, I said, listen, I'm an adult. I think I can handle this. Not only did they come to the party, and my daughter insisted they take a picture in front of the Christmas tree, but she also made sure that everyone in the party met them. And I say that because, again, here's a young person who developed an empathy for others. 2 years later, she would call me on FaceTime because I travel so often and tell me that she just taught herself sign language because she was looking at a television show and saw someone doing sign language and felt that everyone should know how to do sign language because she was concerned that people are walking around and can't communicate and we should all be sensitized to it. So she immediately told me how to say my name, taught me the alphabet, and then taught me how to say hello, give directions, etc. That empathy exists in our youth. And so my message to you today is to not be cynical about our youth. The one thing that I'm very disturbed about sometimes is when I hear that when we were young, or young people today. Let me tell you about young people today. Howard University has 10,000 students. 3,000 of them applied to go to our alternative spring break, and some 500 went, because I couldn't send all of them. They went to 13 sites around the country and around the world. They went to Anguilla, where my wife accompanied them. They went to Ghana. They went to St. Thomas, places hit by hurricane. For spring break, instead of going to Daytona Beach and having a good time, these young people were sleeping on church floors, administering care to people, helping kids in high schools, doing all that they could do with limited resources for a week to make the lives better for people all around this world. And are they bright? They're extremely bright. The young people who come to Howard University have now set a bar where I myself may not be able to get into Howard University. The average SAT score for African Americans who took the test last year was 855. The average SAT score for Howard University's entering class this year is 1240. The average GPA is 3.63. When I started as president a few years ago, the average GPA was 3.0. These young men and women are extremely bright. We started a Bison STEM Scholar program recently for students who are interested in a STEM PhD, because Howard University still sends more African Americans to STEM PhDs than anyone else in the country. And we send more African Americans to medical school than anyone else in this country. As a matter of fact, over the past decade, we sent more African Americans to STEM PhDs than Stanford, Harvard, MIT, and Yale combined. The impact of these programs is incredible. So when you look at the Bison STEM Scholar program that we started for students interested in STEM PhDs and in MD PhD, the average SAT score for those students is 1371, and the average GPA for that class is 3.87. Two of these students who are 17 years old have 50-something AP credits already. So after their freshman semester, fall semester, they will consider juniors this spring. So we should be buoyed by the fact that yes, there's a lot of trouble in the world. Let me not swoon anyone in here to believe otherwise. There's lots of trouble in the world, but there are lots of good people in the world, and a lot of those good people are young people. So I want to congratulate the Bryants on their program. Foundations like yours are what make this world go around. They're big things that big corporations and big foundations and major universities like myself can do. But at the end of the day, there's a lot to be done. And we require everyone to participate. And what you do, the generosity of what you do, the exposure that you bring to these students is absolutely fantastic. To the young people in the room, I continue to be absolutely enthusiastic about you. As a father of a 13-year-old and an 11-year-old, I get to see the magic of their joy and their innocence every day. But that magic and that joy is underscored by the very same thing that has me standing here in front of you. My sickle cell anemia at the time that I was born in Trinidad and Tobago suggested that I would live to be 8 years old. I will turn 47 in June. I'm living on borrowed time, and it's the best borrowed time that you can have. So as I close, I want you to think about this. The French philosopher, a Jesuit philosopher, Kerr-Jarrett, once said that someday, after mastering the winds, the waves, the tides, and gravity, we shall harness for God the energies of love. And for the second time in the history of mankind, we would have discovered fire. So I ask you and I beg of you today, for all that you've done, for the great meal that you've enjoyed, for the hopefully the donations that you will make to the Bryant Foundation, that sometime this week you pause long enough to look at the young person in the eye and just express to them how much you love them and how much you see that fire in their eyes. Thank you.
That was a word we needed to hear, wasn't it? I was just talking to Dr. Simone at the table about the stresses of work and kind of what weighs heavy on you during the week. And in our business, a lot can be argued about the media landscape and what we do. I see it as a way to unravel truth and be transparent when you deal with a lot of heavy things. And so the joy is at home. So these two only grew up under President Obama as well, knew no one else. But my 7-year-old had a different reaction when she heard President Trump on TV. She said, "Mommy, President Trump is not a very nice man." I said, "Why do you say that?" "Well, all he does is blame President Obama for everything." And I said, "Did you hear someone say that at home? You know, you're trying to think, did you say something of her?" She said, "I watch the news." Was it Mommy's report? I don't think it was my report. It wasn't. I cover other things. But yes, if you give me one moment, we're switching our program around a little bit. We want to welcome our next guest. A proper welcome, so bear with me. Sorry. Give me one moment, I'm sorry. So we were not moving forward without a proper introduction for the ambassador. She's shaking her head over here. She was so kind during lunch to just talk with me. Sometimes you get nervous when you meet important people, don't you? I do. Ambassador Selma Phillip-Browne graduated with a medical degree from the University of the West Indies, Mona, Jamaica, in 1978, having served as a medical officer and later district medical officer for many years. In 1996, she received training at Johns Hopkins School of Medicine. We have an alum. And okay, I see you in the back of the room. Their summer program in public health and served as director of primary health care and later chief medical officer. She is a 1993 graduate of the Cardiff University School of Medicine in Wales with a diploma in dermatological science and practiced as a dermatologist until assuming her current post as Ambassador Extraordinary to the United States of America in July 2015. Ambassador, will you make your way up as we give you a warm welcome? The remainder of her bio is in your program. Why do you shake your head at me? Don't shake. Thank you very much. It's an honor to receive you.
Thank you. Well, for me, I'm just a little girl born in a little house, smaller than this stage, so it's okay if you didn't remember the Bible. I sat there wondering two things. You know, sometimes I want speakers say you prepare notes and you come and the situation is so overwhelming, all the notes go out the door. And then they put me after Dr. Frederick. Why me? But then I thought, you know, God knows. And then they couldn't find the bio. I said, maybe they would just skip over me because we've had such a feast. You really don't hear any greetings. I could just say hello and go back. But you know, they would say, that's why you're from the smallest little country in the Caribbean. So thank you for having me. It's such an honor to be here. And Dr. Elaine Bryan, somebody said this morning how wonderful words can express. And two things I must do. Speak about a Caribbean woman. And you know, Dr. Elaine Bryan is the only person who should get people here from the smallest country in the region, St. Kitts and Nevis, people from Georgia, people from Jamaica, people from Trinidad and Tobago. Do you think we should once again try to integrate the Caribbean with someone like Dr. Bryant at the house? But not just the Caribbean, the African diaspora. Because that's what we need, the African diaspora. Now I must also talk to Dr. Frederick. Can anybody, we have lots of doctors here, who can imagine someone with sickle cell anemia graduating at 22 with a medical degree? It's unbelievable. So why am I here? Maybe because St. Kitts and Nevis had the first ever graduate from Howard University with a PhD in economics. So as Jamaicans will say, we're little, but we tally off. But I'm just going to talk a little bit about time. What time is it? 5 to 3. That was a minute ago. It's no longer 5 minutes to 3 on the 6th of May, 2018, and it will never be 5 minutes to 3 on the 6th of May, 2018. Time flies, tempus fugit, they say. And someone said that the bad news is time flies, but the good news is you're the pilot. And so for the young people, I want to say, you're the pilot, but with God's help. Today, if we say, what does time mean? The Me Too movement would say, time's up. Time's up for gender inequality. Time's up for violence against women. It's a new age, a new time. And if you were to ask all those tech savvy people here. Not me, I'm a techno-peasant. They'll say this is a time for AI and robotics and fintech and blockchain and all kind of things, which are just buzzword to me. But you know, if you were to ask Martin Luther King, he'd say it's time to wake up. Because everyone living in this world who does not understand that we all need each other is in a deep sleep, like Rip Van Winkle. Because indeed, and someone mentioned, since we're talking about presidents, President Woodrow Wilson, who himself worked hard for women's rights, but himself was a racist. Maybe at one point, he got converted, because he said we are all citizens of this world, and the tragedy of this life is that, of the era, is that we don't know it. It's so applicable today. But the equalists would say, we are all one, and it's time to move towards equality. Time to get to equality. Not just gender, but religious, race, especially. We are all one as citizens of this world. And so I want to say that to the young people today, that we all need each other. And it is time for us to realize it and step up to the plate. But one of the more important quotes for me about time is from Ecclesiastes, the author, Kohelet, as they call him, the teacher, or some may say Solomon, the wisest man who ever lived. Time is a time for every season and a time for every purpose under heaven. So this is a time of destiny and of purpose for every one of you. Time of destiny, time of purpose. What time is it? A time of destiny and a time of purpose. And as I was thinking about Elaine Bryan, the last quote to Mordecai, he says to Esther, who knows whether you are sent to the kingdom for such a time as this? Young people, we have an awesome responsibility. You have seen today, you have seen from the tech world, from the medical world, you've seen from the entertainment world, remarkable examples of how people have overcome all circumstances and have persevered. Remember that. Understand your destiny. Walk in it. And understand that you were brought to the kingdom for such a time as this. But it's time to change our world. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I want everybody to stand up. One thing we do not do in our community, for whatever reason, people of color, we don't celebrate one another. Let's stand up and let's just celebrate the greatness and the brilliance that we've seen today. My name is Zeron Pledger, and I'm the Special Projects Coordinator for Congressman Hank Johnson. And today I even brought my daughters and my wife because I feel as though one of the things we have to do with our young people is change what they see. And until we change what they see, we can't change the way they think. And if we can't change the way they think, we can't change the direction that they go in. So to me, it's about us celebrating one another and making sure we stay focused on the things that are important. I'm gonna mess with Mr. Gregory Bryant. He left for a minute. But Mr. June and I, my buddy right here, we were supposed to be a part of that remix, and he said, you know what? He told me, you're not Jamaican, my man. So he did it without us. But I'm up here today, I want to introduce our next speaker. This gentleman is the congressional member for the 4th District. It covers all of Rockdale, some parts of Gwinnett, DeKalb, and Newton. This gentleman is very attached to what's going on with our young people. The focus is making sure that he understands how to bridge that gap. There's a separation there between the young people and what's currently going on. He's currently doing an art competition and an app challenge. Just recently gave $71,000 scholarship money for young people to be able to go to school that are interested in science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. So I'm going to bring to the stage to you Mr. Congressman Hank Johnson.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Congressman Hank Johnson from Georgia's 4th Congressional District, and I want to thank everyone for their support throughout my career, for honoring me to serve you. And I've endeavored to do my best to represent you in Congress. It's been a great joy, and I appreciate this work. This work comes at difficult times for America and the people of the world. But I have abundant hope and optimism about the future because of our young people. And I want to first commend Gregory Bryant for the film that he produced with the Jamaican national anthem as its backdrop. It was very touching to me. Give him a hand. It was touching to me because as I viewed the film, I saw it as a manifestation of his love for his country and for his love of the culture of his country and the people that that country and its culture produced. All the way from the early days of history, Jamaican history, all the way up to the present, in many various fields. And it made me think about it made me think about African Americans. We as African Americans, we think of ourselves as, we think everyone else who we see who looks like us in America is African American. And we don't quite always appreciate the particular culture of people from Jamaica and other countries south of our borders, outside of our borders. And we think that way because we don't know much about our own history. And we think about our history in terms of everything that began maybe 2 generations ago, 2, maybe 3 generations ago, whereas Jamaicans and others from the West Indies can think of their history for centuries. And that's a very rich thing to have, a knowledge, an appreciation of your own history and your culture, and then to be connected to your land. That is something that African Americans, it hurts. And we long for the land that we never knew, that we've never been told about, except for it being a place of shithole nations, according to this president. But he's not the only one who has injected that into our psyche. It's been injected into our psyche ever since we have come to this country. And so, as a consequence of not being connected to our land, we end up and having heard only negative things and seeing on TV only negative things about our homeland. You know, you find many of us saying, I don't even want to go to Africa. Many of us don't even know that Africa is a continent and not a country. And so, with that lack of knowledge, we're hurting spiritually, and thus we see a lot of the challenges that we as a people, African Americans, face. And others may wonder, well, why is it that you can't get over slavery? Why is it that how can you be like you are? I think if you could lay us all down on a psychiatrist's couch and psychoanalyze us, you would see that we are suffering from some deep psychological wounds. But we have to understand that it's people like Dr. Wayne Frederick who has overcome so much physically and still has achieved so much. If he were here, I would thank him for his uplifting words. But more than his words, his uplifting actions, his example, and the fact that his children are watching him and they're growing beyond even what he would imagine for them. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a testament to our African American youth and how they are coming up despite all of our psychological deficiencies that we're putting on them and blaming them for it. But they, when I look at these young kids, they are coming up only to be as great as a Dr. Frederick, only to be as great as an ambassador and Reverend Dr. Thelma Phillip-Browne, a woman of great accomplishment. And so we have our own people to look at as far as examples to us. Our Jamaican brothers and sisters, our West Indian brothers and sisters, we see you and we want to know more about you. We should know more about you. However, look at our accomplishments. And if we look at our own accomplishments during the short history that we can glean back, even from the 1860s and beyond, and look at what African Americans have done, and it all culminated with the election of African American President Barack Obama. Not once, but twice. Can you imagine that? With all of the mess that we're putting up with psychologically, we still have people who have achieved so much in our own race. And so I want to thank Dr. Elaine Bryan for extending this information to me for today's event. Over the past couple of years, Dr. Bryan has worked closely with my office to provide opportunities to young people in the 4th District. So I want to thank you for your vision, and I want to thank you for your efforts. Let's give Dr. Bryan a round of applause. Another great achiever. I want to thank also all of our entertainers. I miss the entertainers and musicians here this afternoon for bringing cheer to this audience. And I want to let you know that as ranking member of the House Judiciary Subcommittee on the Courts, the Internet, and Intellectual Property, I recently had the privilege of visiting I went to New York where the Grammys were held this year instead of Los Angeles. So since it was on the East Coast and a lot of things were happening, I was able to get up there and visit. And we visited on Saturday morning. So on Friday, they have to come in with tons of equipment and put it in Madison Square Garden, set it up, test it, make sure it's operating, and then go through the rehearsals with the talent, and then go through all the movement of the 3 stages, because there's actually 4 stages were used, And so when you see the Grammys on TV during the 2 or 3 hour show on Sunday night, there was a lot of work that went into it over the 48 hours prior to the event. And it was such a sophisticated operation and production. And I got a chance on that Saturday morning as they had already set up all of the equipment and everything, and they were testing. At the same time, there were various acts on the 4 stages, and they were going through their routines, and everybody was moving and grooving, putting things into place and everything, and I'm watching it all, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, out of all of the people operating behind the scenes with the video equipment, the audio equipment, the stage management, the production, and all of that behind the scenes work, not one person out of the hundreds that were working, not one person looked like myself. It was an eye-opening situation. So it made me understand the challenge that lies ahead for us as a people. So I said that African Americans look at other blacks in America and we don't know that, okay, that's a Jamaican black right there. Well, other folks look at black folks and they say, hey, that's another black person. You know, and so none of us end up getting the opportunities behind the scenes, behind the camera, to do that kind of event, when in fact the content of the event was weighted heavily towards black culture. And so the culture is what's selling, but other folks are producing it and presenting it to us. And so we have a challenge because we know that if we can operate in front of the camera, we can certainly operate in back of it. In fact, we can add so much to the production that to reflect our culture, to make it a better production. And so I'm heartened by the fact that as these young people come up and as they gain the skills to do or to perform the tasks that are behind the scenes, that they will get a greater chance than perhaps those who are in the mix right now. There are a lot of people in the mix. Dr. Frederick told you about all of the folks who are going to college, all of the graduates and what they're doing in terms of the fields that they get their degrees in. What happens to them once they get their degrees? Do you know that Silicon Valley, which is the epicenter of technology in America, 1 to 3% of the top level creative people out there are African American. It's really the land of white males and Asian males. So if we're producing the talent, we should have the opportunity to move into those jobs. And sometimes it's only because of the color of our skin and the fact that we don't know anybody that prevents us from getting these jobs. But these young people, it's going to be a different situation. We have to make it such for them. So we have a lot of work to do, ladies and gentlemen. We have a lot of challenges. We can call them problems, and we can be saddened by the fact that we have sickle cell anemia, and we are given only until the age of 8 years old to be here. We can think about our challenges and our problems. We think about our problems and not think about our problems as challenges. So I think Dr. Frederick looked at the problem of longevity, being able to live, as a challenge, and he challenged himself and what could be, what was destined for him. He challenged that and changed his destiny, and now look what he has accomplished over his 47 years. So each one of us has what Dr. Frederick has within him, and we have that ability to win. So I hope that all of the young people who are listening to me, and I consider each and every one of you, I don't care how old you might be, you're still young. Youth means that there's still something that you can accomplish, that's something that you can challenge, overcome, and achieve. And so as long as everyone in here has that spirit, then we're going to move forward in a positive direction. We're going to make it better for our kids, and we're going to create a more peaceful and prosperous world, not just for ourselves and people who look like us, but for the entire planet. Y'all remember Wakanda, right? All right, so thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Said Wakanda forever, right? Right. we only have a few more speakers on our program, but before we move on with our final three, I believe, have you all bought your raffle tickets? Yeah, oh, I see one hand over here. That's it. Or a couple over here. There's some good prizes here. We've got a 3-day, 2-night resort stay in Jamaica. We've got an Xbox, a Marriott stay here in Atlanta, food. Where? Oh, okay. You heard. So do we know where the raffle tickets are? Do we know where they are? They're back here. They're coming around. And you're welcome to buy more than 1, 2, 3, 4. All for a good cause here, right? Let me get my bearings here with our next speaker. Is Minister Hines, should we move forward? Minister Hines? What was it? Okay. I know Monica's been waiting for this all afternoon. My table mate over here, we messed with her during lunch and said, we moved you up 3 spots. You're coming over here. But our next speaker is Monica Rivera. She serves as the Human Resources Manager for U.S. Marketing Consumer Business for Microsoft Retail Stores. Yes, round of applause. In this capacity, she provides HR leadership across 13 states and Puerto Rico, which consists of 27 stores, 2 market managers, 60-plus store leaders. She's responsible for delivering success by helping drive the people strategy of Microsoft's retail business. We have some really brilliant people in our space today, across the board. Yes, and I want to bring you up. Don't look at me like that. You can read the remainder of Ms. Rivera's bio in your program, but please help me welcome Ms. Monica Rivera.
So before I get started, one of the things that I was told is you have to make sure you relate to the crowd. So to get started, for my young people in the room, we're going to take a selfie. Are we in? All right, ready? Everyone ready? Oh no, I need some energy. Come on, we got to do this together. Ready? Everyone selfie time. There we go. Awesome. So now I got to learn how to put this on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff. So thank you very much. It is truly a pleasure to be here today. I want to first congratulate the students again and the award winners. Just, again, huge congratulations on behalf of Microsoft. Thank you to Dr. Elaine and the Foundation for all you do and what you will continue to do for each and every single one of us. I'd also like to say thank you to Microsoft for allowing me and affording me the opportunity to be here today to speak to each and every single one of you. Microsoft's mission is to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. As I continue to think about our mission statement and how I carry a huge responsibility in delivering that, I continuously went back to Dr. Elaine's trademark of the what approach. What you do with what you have determines what you become. Yes, Dr. Elaine. So when I thought about her trademark statement, the first thing that came to mind was power. As I sat in the boardroom earlier today, and every 5 or 10 minutes we had different presenters trickle in. We had ambassador, and we had attorney, we had Bambi and Scrappy, and then you had me. And my name is Monica Rivera, and I was titled Human Resources Manager. That was my label. So I self-reflected, and to be really transparent, I changed everything I was going to say today because of the word power that came to mind. You have the power to impact lives. You have the power to inspire others. And you have the power to be and make great leaders. Regardless if you're the beautiful 7-year-olds and 10-year-olds sitting at the table or mature representatives that are here today. However, with power comes a huge responsibility. We have the power to make a difference, but we must do so by being our true, genuine self. So I'm going to tell you a little story about what my true, genuine self is. So I'm proud to say I just hit 40 years old. Yes. But it was a long, hard fought 40-year journey of my development, my growth, and my career. I was born in Puerto Rico, raised by a white Brazilian woman and a white Portuguese man, who, by the way, was not my biological father. I share that with you because in my career, between Microsoft, Toys R Us, and the Home Depot, I was put in powerful positions, but had no power to make a difference. So I really had to ask myself the question of, am I showing up to work? Am I showing up to my family as my true, genuine self every single day? And the reality is I wasn't. Why? Because I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be lighter. I wanted to have long curly hair. I wanted to have short hair one day. I wanted to wear something that looked like the person next to me. But guess what? I learned that I didn't need to do that to be powerful. My message to you is that you are not a label. Do not settle for the responses of, you're a millennial, you don't know any better. You're black, that's why you act that way. You're from Jamaica, that's why you have an accent. Or you are black, Hispanic, female, so you don't get to say a word. If you're going to be called a label or a stereotype to everyone in the room, make that label of power. I have the power, and I am powerful. The other thing I want to touch on, which we know is a sensitive topic, is about diversity and inclusion. Unfortunately, as some of our previous speakers have spoken about, we are not accepted in all coffee shops. We are not accepted in some playgrounds, in some schools, in some shopping stores. But we are powerful and have the power to make a difference. I want to close with this. For the young people in the room, know your worth. For the more mature in the room, share your failures. Share your worth. For the young people in the room, yeah, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you. You're going to fail, but fail fast and get back up. So, in closing, what I want to just remind every single one of us in the room today. I am powerful. You are powerful. We together have the power to make a difference. Thank you. So I want to invite up to stage Jerome. Jerome is one of our, I will tell you, he's what makes the magic happen with the partnership with the Elaine Bryan Foundation. Jerome is one of my representatives from our Lenox location. So when you go shop our stores, you go to Lenox first. That's the plug. No, but Jerome, first I'd like to thank you for everything that you do on behalf of Microsoft, on behalf of the Elaine Bryan Foundation, and what we'll continue to do. Yes, and then with that, I'd like to bring up Dr. Elaine and Mr. Bryant to come up on stage as we have a presentation to give to the both of you. So on behalf of Microsoft, and again, just a form of gratitude and appreciation for everything that you do and will continue to do, we are donating a Microsoft Surface Pro and Xbox One S to the foundation. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Monica, usually I try to stay away from HR, but you just made me.
You want to see who? I'm on deadline.
But no, it's so important to have leaders who can inspire you in your workplace, and we're all here for a reason. Maybe you don't know why you really showed up today until you heard what you needed to hear. That's kind of how I'm feeling today. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. Our final speaker is Abby Benson, known as Bambi. She gained notoriety through her appearances on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and Basketball Wives, but today Bambi is putting all her energy and attention into entrepreneurial projects. Not only is she the CEO of Shimmer Elite Extensions, but she's also the founder of Shimmer Living Foundation. SLF works to build confidence in young ladies by providing them with the tools to be beautiful inside and out. And we thank you for coming here and joining us. Bambi's originally from Compton, right? You all have a mayor there, right? Who we look toward for that beauty, for that confidence, to know what type of positions we can hold. And we're so happy to have you here today. As you read more about Bambi in your in the bio section of the program, we'd like to have you come up on stage. And Scrappy, I know you bought like 100 tickets because you're headed to Jamaica, right? You're going for the big prize. Going for the big prize here. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I want to say thank you so much to Dr. Elaine and Mr. Gregory Bryant for having me here, just to be in a room, full of all of these amazing people. Some people look at us and say, well, you're on reality TV, you don't belong in certain rooms, and I just really appreciate the opportunity to be here. And I also want to say thanks to my family for being here, my husband, my stepdaughter's here, and all the other young people. I know how hard it is to give up your Sundays, as young people, you want those days off. So, but that's what sets you apart from your peers. You guys are here, you're eager to soak up all of this information from all of these people, and I just feel like mentorship is something that really shaped me as the woman I am today. So it's really important for the people here that's just giving back all of this information. I'm pretty sure they have other things they could be doing, but it's just amazing. And Monica, I just want to say to you that when I saw your name on the program, I was excited. So, that's who you are to me, Hey. So, anyways, it really is refreshing to see so many young faces here, though. And one of my favorite pastimes is to harass the young people about a couple things. One, educating yourselves, and two, just figuring out what your purpose is and knowing that you have a purpose here in the world. So I don't care if you're 3 or 23. If I catch you somewhere, I'm gonna have a full-on conversation, just because I love engaging with younger people, and it is beneficial for both of us. I learn a lot from young people, and I'm sure, when they see me, you guys might want to talk about love and hip hop, but I'm asking you, what's the last book you've read? I'm giving you other information. So I just really feel like it's important to connect with the young people. And I had a mentor growing up, my best friend's dad. He would always give me a list of books to read and articles and all kind of different things, and I would just take in the information, but I didn't realize how useful it would be when I became an adult. And so I just really feel like it put me ahead of a lot of the young people out, my peers. And it's a lot of people in entertainment, and they didn't take their education serious. They didn't listen to the mentors and the people around them. So now they're just entertainers. You see them on TV, but they're not doing anything. They're not changing the world in any way. And so I really feel like as a Black woman, I have a responsibility to show the young ladies something different outside of what you see on TV. Because I tell my stepdaughter all the time, and also, I don't really even have to tell her. She sees it. TV is TV. It's entertainment. But when we're home, we're hitting the books. I'm harassing her all day long as well. So that's just what it is. And, we can tell the kids all day long to stay in school, go to college, do all these things, but they really have to see you in action in order to respect what you're saying to them. So I really, truly live by, leading by example. So for everybody who's been around me today, I know you see me constantly just sipping, drinking water all day. My family and I are expecting a little one. This is my first. So I'm a little out of breath, but one thing that I want to relate that to is, again, all of the young people here. I'm taking in all of this water all day long, but it's not just for me anymore. And for you guys, you know, you're soaking up all this information that this foundation is giving you guys and allowing you to just receive so much information. And it's not for you. So I do want to leave you guys with one thing that's really important. Don't be consumed by what you can get from the world. You know, you guys are our future. So just consume yourself with what you're going to give back into the world, because you are our future doctors, engineers, lawyers, everything that we need. So just understand that it's not just for you. You know, you have to give those things back. And again, thank you guys for having me, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Bambi, I didn't want you to think I was a blogger type, so I didn't mention anything when you walked up here, but I read that on the blog last night. Congratulations. I just didn't want to come up. What is that? Nosy thing from Channel 2. So thank you. We have had wonderful speakers. Thank you to everyone who has come on this stage today. Dr. Bryant, you know how to fill a room and how to fill us up and get us ready to face Monday and not see Monica in HR. We're going to go through our raffle prizes before we leave this room. So I know a lot of people bought up tickets here in between our last two speakers. So we're about to pull those tickets before we head out. Last call. Does anyone else? They're $20. Great prizes here. We have resort vacations, Marriott stays. The resort is in Jamaica. We have an Xbox Marriott stay here in Atlanta. We also have the restaurant here. So last call. Sorry. I don't write. That's a 4-burner gas grill.
Yeah, take it. I'll have.
Okay. Go down for 5.
Last call.
Sure, okay. All right, last call, you all. Last call for tickets right up here, $20. You have resort stays, Xbox, 4-burner gas grill, a night at the Marriott, what we have in these boxes here. So there are a lot of really good prizes here and plenty of tickets left. And then we'll wrap up and head on out. And your debit card is accepted. Debit, credit, cash. Just no IOs. No eat. Oh, no. That was not my joke. Okay. Then you hide. We accept any form of payment. Last call.
Everything went.
Yes, keep it coming. We're swiping. Yes, the credit card, all the money, all the funds go toward the STEAM programs. Final call for your tickets.
Resort vacation, Xbox, Marriott stay, 4-burner gas grill. You can use all of that this summer. We're ready to draw. Okay. Okay. All right, so we've got 6. Oh, we are. Okay, that's decoration. Okay. All right. We're going to go up? Okay. All right, our first drawing will be for a grace box. I was just told, don't let the display fool you. We're only drawing for one. Only drawing for one. Drum roll. Drum roll. London, do you want to come pick it out? Okay, come on, come on. Okay. All right. You help mommy? Oh, okay. There you go. Drum roll. One. All right. Who has ticket 596931? 596931. Come on down.
Get the shortcut today.
How much is it worth? That's what they want to know, how much the grace box is worth.
It's about $30 to $40 back.
That's it for this one?
This is the
first one.
The first prize has been drawn. This is the 5th prize. So we're going to 5th, then we're going to...
You were going up, yeah.
So you missed the chance of winning the first.
It depends on how many tickets you bought. Oh, okay. All right. Our next number, do you want to pull Kendall? Kendall Vanna Black.
What's our next prize?
Our next prize is a 4-burner gas grill. We can use that this summer. You got it? Okay. Say the number. Turn it around. Here we go.
596998.
596998. Woo! Okay. You got the gas grill. Wait, do you cook? Who are you? What is your name, young lady?
My name is Jessica Bryan.
What brought you here today, Miss Bryan?
I was part of the Elaine Bryan Foundation this summer.
Oh, so you're just double dipping on this set. Okay. And where are you taking this gas grill? Where in the metro is that?
Canton, Georgia.
So you're hosting the cookout in Canton.
Yes.
All right. Give her a round of applause. Okay. Awesome.
Going down there, the Lowe's prize to Canton. Our third prize is the Atlanta, which Marriott is this?
This is the Evergreen Marriott at Stone Mountain.
Evergreen Marriott at Stone Mountain. I'll pick this one. All right. We still have more? Hold on. We have 59, 69, 41. Who's headed to Stone Mountain? What's going on with this table? Somebody want to come rub the table before we get to the resort stay? How do you feel deep down? You bought it, right? You bought it. You bought it.
It's yours.
It's yours.
And it includes food.
Oh, watch out. Watch out.
Turn around so I can see your face. It includes food and it belongs to you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, you can. Mommy's doing that stuff. Okay. Our second prize is an Xbox. So we heard Microsoft, they came up here, they donated the Xbox. Go ahead. All right, now we have the yellow ticket. And what's the number?
529498.
529498. 529498. It's our Xbox winner. Is this what you get for getting ready for a younger sibling? Oh, this is what you, okay. Everybody's a winner. Okay. Oh, okay. Ed's got it. Okay. All righty. All right. Whoa. Who's going to the resort? Who's headed to Jamaica? You going? Okay, we got okay. 64, 14, 99. Oh, you had me. 64, 14, 99. What? Hey, you took a minute. Hold on, let's get. You took a while. You just couldn't believe it, could you? I almost went in for another ticket. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. What's your name?
My name is Patrick Lawrence. I live in Nathan, Jamaica. We'll be returning to Jamaica next week, Friday.
Are you really gonna go? Are you ready? No, he didn't like that. He said, I'm going. That's like whoever's going to Stone Mountain in the Marriott.
You want to come with me?
You all live right here. All right. Dr. Bryant, come in. Thank you all.
Gregory, tell the kids. Thank you, WSB-TV, Miss Carr, rise everybody and let her know we thank her. She came on a Sunday and she stayed to the end. She's fantastic. This is for Nicole Carr of WSB-TV, Channel 2, the #1 station that I presentation. You did really good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now the following people, please come to the stage for your gifts. Dr. Windy Green, Dr. Pottinger, Professor Darren Pleasure, Miss Russell, Miss Christine Pincer from used to be, but is now a leader in the county. Come up to the podium, please. All the board members of the Elaine Bryan Foundation, please come to the podium. I just want to thank you all for coming. We just want to tell you to have a great afternoon and thank you for coming. See you again next year, the first Sunday in May. I think that's May 6th. Write it down in your calendars from now. Same place, same time. Thank you. Sunday, May, what day? Sunday, May 5th. Please make a note of it. Sunday, May 5th, 2019. I don't have no PR team, so write it down so you all know to just come out. And we love all of you, all the organization, Trinidad AJA, Barbados Association. In fact, Tony Elaine, please come to the podium. We have a gift for you. All the people who made this happen. Is Joy White here? Joy White. Margie Grant, Norman Grant, all of you come up here for our last photo and gifts. Thank you. Have a great afternoon.
Hey everyone, just one final presentation. I don't know if any of you know this, but Dr. Bryant retired. After 27 years in DeKalb County Schools as a counselor, she counseled many of us, even those that weren't at her school. And we just wanted to give her a token of our appreciation. Thank you very much and congratulations on your retirement.
Dervan from Power 106 all the way from Jamaica and all our out-of-town guests. They made a big effort to come. Dervan Malcolm, Power 106, okay? Show him love. Show him love. Like a ticket back home and another trip to Georgia, okay? Thank you. We needed to put action in your love. Thank you. Dr. Bryan. On behalf of the Elaine Bryan Foundation, Dr. Pottinger, we are presenting this gift to Miss Nicole Carr from WSB-TV Channel 2. We give her a big hand. She really did it. We are going to take her over. She's going to be here every year. Yes. We want her every year. We will take care of her. We take her on trips so she don't feel too tired. Thank you, Miss Nicole. We love you. Thank you. Yeah. Our Darren Pleasure, you made this machine work. So with somebody gives Darren Pleasure a grace basket for me. Board members, where is Dr. Pamela Charles? Pleasure, Mr. Pleasure. Miss Russell, introduce me to Bambi. Could you give her a gift? Thank you. Dr. Windy Green, who is the reason why we got power. He's a busy man. He don't play around. So we want Dr. Green, and we appreciate it. And that should serve her for the rest of 2 years, okay? And Mr. Wright, Mr. Wright, Mr. Wright, Mr. Wright, this is just part of our gift. Get ready for your trip to Jamaica. And Mr. Wright, looking at you there. Oh, thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Get ready for your VIP trip. We have all these powerhouses here. Oh, Mr. Michael Chambers, please come. Michael Abrams, Dr. Michael Abrams, Gayle Abrams, all of you, thank you for coming, and the board members. Congratulate the board members. Thank you all. Norman Grant.
Let's head over. It's going to be quite a task. Where is Jack?
Hey,
Robinson, good to see you. Good to see you again. Let's go live once again. We're still live.
Yes,
this is
sir.
Jackie Robinson. She operates the Golden Cross franchises here in Georgia, about 12.
Yes, 12 to be exact.
To be exact. And she's been operating these franchises, well,
in
for the
Georgia,
most part, for
13
years.
Yeah.
13 years. And this event has your full support, obviously.
It sure does.
Yes?
It sure does.
Why? Why do you continue to support the Elaine Bryan Foundation?
I guess I'm going to take a little bit of what you said yesterday. Pastor man got to feed his kids first. So we got to take care of the Jamaicans first. So this is it. Yes.
Indeed. And outside of all, I mean, there's so many presentations that have taken place here today. Anything that stays with you? Any particular word or phrase or comment or inspiration that you picked up from all the presentations that were here today?
I mean, if I were to envelope it in one big thing, I love Dr. Howard. I loved his drive. I love what he was really going through and is still going through. And yet he has pushed to make such a difference. So from everybody's speech is telling me that perseverance is it. No matter what you come in contact with, we can do it. We just have to push.
Indeed. Well, you keep pushing and we'll be here to support you. All the best.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
See you.
There you have it. That's Jackie Robinson, Jackie Hawthorne Robinson. She is the operator of the 12 Golden Cross outlets here in Georgia, and she has been operating in Georgia for Golden Cross now for about 13 years. We are certainly looking forward to more engagements as the time we have left here in Georgia continues. Okay. Hello, I'm fine, thanks. We're live. You may as well introduce yourself to our viewers on Facebook Live and our listeners on Power 106 FM and give us your impression of the 2018 staging of the Elaine Bryan Foundation Inspirational Luncheon.
Definitely. Well, my name is Sophia Byers. I'm the owner of the Byers Firm and the Public Relations Chair for the Atlanta Jamaican Association. This was a wonderful event. If you are part of the Caribbean community, this is an annual event that Dr. Bryan does. Definitely come out and support. As you can see, the lineup is wonderful and we're giving back to the community. It was wonderful.
Excellent.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, good to see you. All the
Good
best.
to see you. Same here.
All right, take care. And my good friend from Couples, he's now managing the operations in the region. But let's see, we have a couple of minutes, and I'm going to use that time to give the last word to Dr. Elaine Bryan of the Elaine Bryan Foundation. She is in the middle of photos right now, so we may or may not get the opportunity to speak with her as we get ready to wrap. And the photo ops right now. I'll tell you what, doesn't look as if we have an opportunity, so we'll have to wrap it here. Can we thank our technical teams here in Georgia and back home in Jamaica for their support. Thank you very much. Thank you to Safika. Thank you very much to Tara. Thanks a lot for for your support. Thanks to our listeners all over the globe for making it Power 106 FM for live coverage of the Elaine Bryan Foundation fundraiser here at the Whitley in Buckhead, Atlanta, Georgia. Till you join us again from another place at another time. This is Dervan Malcolm returning you to the studios of Power 106. In the afternoon in Kingston, Jamaica, which means it is 4 p.m. here in Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you so much for watching. As you can see, the program is at an end at this 8th annual Elaine Bryan Foundation Inspirational Luncheon at the Whitley in Atlanta, Buckhead. Thank you very much, Olive. We see you. Jackie Robinson, that is. I should tell her what you said. She is very contented, actually. Valerie Rochester, always a pleasure to see you online. Trisha Boo. Thank you, Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida. Maxine, good to see you. Bishop Dr. Fuller, thank you very much for tuning in. Paula and all the others online. Rasmanga, we will see you soon. Everybody else, thank you very much. As we wrap up, there we go. There we go. Lots of photo opportunities there now. There we go. There we go. Lots of photo ops.
Pleasure. We can edit. Oh, that's perfect. We got that.
Awesome job today, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, sir. Sure, no problem. Sorry, I have to share this with you. Somebody posted a comment here in reference to when I spoke with you a while ago. That woman sure does look contented. Jackie Robinson, that is.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh my God, look who is here.
What's up, Laura? Good to see you.
Dr. Bryant? can you just wrap this broadcast for us, please?
Okay. On behalf. Okay. Whose is this? On behalf of the Elaine Bryan Foundation, I want to thank Power 106 and Dervan Malcolm for coming to make our event totally complete. He tied the north, the south, the east, the west, people from all over the diaspora, people from Africa, African Americans, Jamaicans, Trinidadians, all the islands were here. We want to tell you thank you, Mr. Malcolm, and see you next year.
All right, thank you. Great. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, well done. That's Malcolm. Okay, everybody. Bye.